You know, we realize it's hot outside when we don't want to cook inside. We also realize when it's hot outside, you park at least a full, like half a parking lot just to get under a tree.
Yes.
Like I did that yesterday. I'm like, oh gosh, summer is here, which is exactly why we invited Chef Laura Slama from Celebrated Cuisine to give us some light, some healthy, and some don't turn on the oven recipes.
Yeah, no oven on.
No oven.
No, no.
So this is a quick ceviche with grapefruit, mango, and jalapeno. This is the one that made me a little nervous as we were going to break.
So this is, well, red jalapeno. It's also known as a Fresno pepper.
Okay.
Fresno chili. And the flavor is not too different from a green jalapeno like this, which you can actually add to our little dish if you want. But I wanted to show it. You can find this at the regular market. And the thing to remember about your peppers is that the heat is going to be found primarily in the seeds, the stem, and in the rib, okay? So if you want this to be a hot ceviche, which is actually great to eat hot food when it's hot outside because it activates your natural cooling mechanism, which is sweating. So
I prefer just a pant.
We'll get into that another time. So anyway, if you want to, you can raise the heat on the ceviche by including some of the seeds in the dish, okay? And this is true with any type of pepper. The other thing to remember, and this is why I chose this dish also, here we are talking about great foods that we can eat that will help us stay fit or be part of us getting fit, is that when you eat foods that are high in spice factor, you actually raise your metabolism because your body works a little harder to cool you off, etc. So, and they have documented, the research shows that when you eat spicy food, your body runs a little higher for the next few hours.
So it's kind of the natural equivalent of, say, a fat burner pill that we would pop. I mean, not me, but one who wanted to do that, where it's raising our temperature by taking that synthetic kind of
Exactly, but
pill.
we're doing it naturally, and we're doing it with a lot of great flavor.
Yeah. Okay,
so we have a couple of things now adding a spice factor to our ceviche. One, we have our red and green jalapeno, obviously, or the Fresno. We have a little bit of our chipotle puree. Okay, so this again is the same that we used in the black bean dip, where we have our jalapeno that's been dried and smoked. We're going to add some juices to this, because ceviche, in all actuality, is actually fish that is cooked in acid, okay? And the acid is coming from different types of juices. So in this case, I'm using triple. I've got lime juice already squeezed. I have some orange juice squeezed and some ruby grapefruit squeezed. So I'm going to add this in. Now, in the case of my ceviche, because I called it quick, it's because, and I'm doing a lot of this today, by the way.
Fingers,
Today's all about the, the quotations. The reason for that is because with the shrimp, I actually blanched and shocked it first. So it already has been cooked, so we can eat it within a half hour if we wanted to.
Your best advice for getting it that perfect, because sometimes it just,
nothing like overcooked shrimp. There's nothing
it's delicious, right?
Yeah,
not so much.
Again, pencil eraser is good too. Yeah. But anyway, what I did was I boiled this in boiling water, obviously, for just about 3 minutes. And because boiling water in boiling water is a really good way to go. So anyway, and then I just put it right into ice water and strained it.
Okay.
And that was it. And
just
I did
the same way we do like asparagus or any other vegetable.
Exactly. As soon as you see it hit that pink and no longer translucent phase, that's when you're good to go.
Then rescue it.
Now, I'm also not really chopping these shrimp up too small. I want to make sure people know that there's shrimp in this dish, and I'm using bay scallops. And these are the little guys, so you can just cook these for about 2 minutes, and that's it. Anything longer, and you are.
Bay scallops are a little bit bigger than that. They're about 4 times that big, right?
No, sea scallops are 4 times that big.
Oh,
these are the bay.
That's the size.
These are the bay. Yep.
Okay.
That's all there are. So we just have a little bit of that. And also we're going to add some fruit into here as well. Why? Because we can. And grapefruit is another one of those wonderful power foods, if you will, that they've shown where if you eat grapefruit with every meal, you actually lose more weight. Okay, so if you're on a really healthy diet, this is a great fruit to add to it if you're trying to get into that bikini or get into those swim trunks or whatever the case is. Because if you're a guy and you're getting into a bikini, I don't want to have that conversation with you. Okay,
well, I want to see the pictures, but I don't want to have the conversation with you.
Okay, there, we'll go with that. So I'm just going to cut these into some nice bite-sized pieces. And we'll add that. And then the last thing we're going to add to this, here's our orange. We'll throw that in.
Okay.
And here's our green onion. So I've just taken some natural, scallion or green onion and finely chopped that. A little bit of cumin. So
now, the longer this sits, is the more flavorful does it become?
So while you can eat this right away if you want, letting these flavors all marry overnight is wonderful. Now, the other thing too is I call in the recipe for cilantro. Not everybody likes cilantro.
I do.
So if you do, then use a little bit of minced cilantro. If you don't, then use some Italian flat leaf parsley. But use something so you have a little bit of color in the dish.
Okay, I'm only adding this because you taught me that.
Yes, absolutely.
You said taste it.
Exactly, taste it and then figure out what you need. So, perfect.
I'm going to get hate emails. Why did you mess with her recipe? Because she taught me to do that.
Yes, and I always tell people too to remember that your recipes are guidelines. So you just want to look at the recipe and determine, okay, what is it that I might want to change or add or detract based on what your personal preferences are.
Well, I would say that this probably is something that most people have in their refrigerator or on their back tree or whatever. So we can always add a little pop of flavor with mango if we wanted, but it's optional. Yes?
Yeah, and I call for it in the recipe, but you don't have to use it if you don't want.
Just in
you can
case.
use papaya if you want to, or just stick with the
Jimmy
citrus.
crack corn.
And I don't care.
All right, well, stick around because you are going to care about this last recipe that we're going to hit up. It's going to be a hot chocolate covered crunchy date thing with a bit of white chocolate drizzle, and it's actually pretty healthy, and we're not going to turn on the oven.
No, we're not. No.
No?
No oven.
We'll think about it, but we're not going to.
No, oven-free zone.